Good afternoon. This is Shindo. Whenever I do a video about Turkey, I always end up with plenty of thumbs down from, I assume, Turks, and cursing at me and whatnot. But you know what? I guess I haven't learned my lesson, and I'm going to do a video about Turkey. All of you Turks out there, I'm not speaking out against Turkey. I am simply reading an article. This is from the New Arab, and you will find a link to this article in the description box, as you always will on my videos. Syria, Washington-Ankara rift widening as Turkey-backed rebels reach al-Bab. The U.S.-led coalition currently conducting airstrikes against Islamic State groups targets in Syria is not backing a joint drive by Turkish and Syrian rebel forces to retake one of the extremist group's stronghold in northern Syria. The Pentagon said on Wednesday that Ankara-backed rebels who make up the, quote, Euphrates Shield operation are not being supported by coalition airstrikes because the initiative was launched, quote, independently, without U.S. approval, in a sign of strained relations between Washington and Ankara. Quote, that's a national decision that they have made, unquote, said U.S. Colonel John Duran, a spokesman for the coalition fighting the jihadist group in Syria and Iraq, speaking from Baghdad in a video conference with reporters on Wednesday. Duran added that the U.S. had withdrawn some special forces soldiers embedded with Turkish forces and their allies due to Turkey's independent move. The current lack of coalition support for Turkey's movements on al-Bab illustrate increasingly strained ties between Washington and Ankara that have in part been exacerbated by the U.S. refusal to assent to Turkey's demand for the extradition of controversial cleric Fethullah Gulen, suspected by the AKP government of masterminding a failed July 15 coup attempt. Quote, what we would like to do is to continue to work with them, the Turks, to develop a plan where everyone remains focused, unquote, on defeating ISIS, said Duran, speaking on Wednesday. Ankara has also been angered by Washington's decision to supply Kurdish armed groups, such as the Syrian Democratic Forces, and entrust them with leading a decisive assault on ISIS de facto Syrian capital, Raqqa. Everyone in the region hates the Kurds, by the way. It's not just the Turks. Ankara's view of the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Force, is equivalent to the Kurdistan Workers Group, PKK, which has waged an ongoing war against the Turkish state since the 1980s and is designated by Turkey, the European Union, and the United States as a terrorist organization. Since Ankara launched its previously unprecedented cross-border operations in Syria in September, Turkish-backed rebels have battled ISIS and have also clashed with the SDF, seen by many rebels to have formed a, quote, tacit alliance, unquote, with the Syrian regime. Al-Bab is located approximately 30 kilometers from the Turkish border. On Wednesday, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said that Turkey-backed rebels were just 2 kilometers from the city. Ankara, wary of growing self-autonomy for Kurdish communities in Syria, have knocked on effect back home, is keen to seize the city and prevent SDF and other Kurdish forces from joining up cantons they control along the Turkish border, fearing it will stoke Kurdish separatism at home. Now, those of you who perhaps don't know a lot about geography, which seems to be more and more people here, you're going to have a map that you can look at right here. Turkey is extremely significant to the United States geographically, which is what most things come down to, is where they are on the map. Turkey is right next to the I almost said the Soviet Union because that's basically what they are. It's right next to Russia. And Turkey has been a NATO ally since there was a NATO, because Turkey is supposed to be the defense from preventing now Putin from going into Europe. Not that he would ever do that, right? Wink, wink. But when Turkey and the United States alliance starts breaking up, which it has been over the past several months, especially since the coup attempt back in the summertime, as this alliance breaks down between the United States and Turkey, who is Turkey going to be going to? They're going to be going to Russia. And I can tell you that regardless of who would have been president, whether it's Clinton or whether it's Donald Trump, I dare say that Donald Trump is not going to be more sympathetic to Turkey's needs and their problems with the Kurds, which everybody in the region has problems with the Kurds. You know, I am not getting in, folks, into your politics. So if you're a Kurd, don't come at me. The fact of the matter is everyone in the region has a problem with you. I don't see Donald Trump being any more sympathetic towards Turkey, probably less, than Obama has been. So I don't see American-Turkish relations getting any better. And this is significant because of Russia. We shall see what the future will hold. I have a very strong feeling that in the very near future, you will see Donald Trump either as president-elect or president forging an amazing, astounding peace agreement in the region, but it will not hold for long. This is Shindo. You have a good day.